Okay, I think we're live officially.
Yay!
Hello, everybody. Cami Pentecost here. Welcome to another week of Tips from the Top. And I am so excited today. I have my good friend, Danielle, Jenna. Oh my gosh, say it for me again. I just lost it.
Jana Seski.
Jana Seski, and you guys will never find her on social media because there is a W in there. And so it's like, it looks like Jana Swooski, right?
Jana Suski. Yep. But the W is silent. Yep.
Yes. Okay. So all that to say, if y'all are wondering why we're twinning with our hats, it's because we met for the first time in Nashville at the Road Rally. And I'm just loving this because the last 3 weeks of Tips from the Top have all been from people I met in Nashville. And if y'all wonder how important these events are, I'm telling you, this is where gold is given. The stories that are shared are just transformational. I know we've got our city tours going on right now. Make sure y'all get to those. So number one, not only you get to meet us, but we get to meet you. I mean, that's how we forge these relationships that I'm here to tell you, this might be the first time some of you have met Danielle, but after today, I can promise you this, it won't be the last time. Not with where this lady's going. And so there was about a handful of people in Nashville that just blew me away in such a way. I was like, our field needs to hear from them. They need to hear their story. They need to understand, who they are and what they've accomplished. And they're just getting started. And so Danielle is one of those people. I mean, and y'all talk about some humble pie. This is something I do. When I meet people that I don't know, I will walk up to them and say, who's your line of sponsorship? Danielle, tell me who your line of sponsorship is. Now, sometimes they'll go, I don't know my line of sponsorship. I'm like, I'm under nobody. And I'm like, oh, but my friend, you are. You just don't know it. So she goes, well, I was under this person and this person. And the minute I recognize that name, I knew where she was going with that one. Danielle, tell us who your line of sponsorship is.
You.
Oh, come on. There are a handful of others. One that
there
company.
Kyler. So Kyler is, do you want me to say other names?
I mean, you don't have to, but like bottom line is, you guys, her upline is the company because
I have nobody else right now above me that is in the company.
Correct. And you guys, that's what I want you to hear from that statement right there. Talk about a woman who has every excuse in the book to say why she is not going to be able to do this, or how poor me, I don't have anybody supporting me. Nobody cares about my success. Well, bottom line, the company does care, but we all know what she means by that. Yeah. I mean, how many of you are like, oops, guilty, I said that? Or how many of you right now, because this is being put on our road to VIP, I mean, it could be a brand new distributor listening to this. We're taking any excuses out of your vocabulary right now, right here today. Before we jump into that too much and get too far down the road, Danielle, I want to give you a little bit of time here to just introduce yourself to our listeners today.
All right. So Danielle Janaseski. I've been with the company for 8 years, and I was a special ed and math teacher when I first got started with this, and I really just wanted to make a little extra money. I didn't really know what I was doing when I got started. I learned as I went. Within 7 months, I was able to go diamond, and that was when I realized that I just matched my teaching salary with 2 master's degrees in a matter of 7 months with this company, and I didn't even work for the first 4 months. So that was when the light bulb really went off that I could do a little bit more with this. And then I got pregnant, and that's when my why totally shifted. And I had the desire so badly to want to stay home with him, not teach, not have my extra tutoring business on the side. I really genuinely just wanted to stay home with him. I didn't want to put him in daycare. So my why was so strong that it really wanted to make me cry. And from there, I got up to double diamond. I went on maternity leave. I never went back, still haven't gone back. I've got 3 kids, stay-at-home mom, and triple diamond, income disclosure. Like, I had a lot of like student loans. I no longer have those. And that's just been such a blessing for me. Income money aside, I've had a lot of really hard times in this business, and Cami knows, like, I shared some of those on stage. I don't know if you want me to touch on some of those right now.
No, this is your time. And okay. We're just going to dive right in. And y'all, here's the deal. She's already said, like, she was a teacher with 2 master's degrees. How many of you can relate to that? She's got a child and realized very quickly, I don't want to go raise everybody else's kids while somebody's home raising mine. And I'm still trying to figure out how to pay my bills, right? She also said that, she came out of the gate and didn't hit some monstrous title. She went diamond, and she realized how much was available here. And many of you are in this business right now for an extra $500 a month. Maybe you heard about our success bonus or the trip we're going on, and you're saying to yourself like, oh wait, there's more, and that's my desire for you, is to just hear from somebody out there doing it like you, and how she's doing that. So yeah, I mean, Danielle, I do want to hear that, because I know we were laughing, y'all, about her being in our line of sponsorship, but how long of your business did you have support, or do you feel like you've never had support?
No, when I first got started, it was more just kind of, I didn't have the training that maybe I like that I try to offer now. And that's fine. I'm much of a, like, I'll learn as I go kind of thing. And I felt like I had the support. I met some really great people, but I would say the last 2 years, probably, not only was the one person that I was, close with in the business that was above me, not only did she check out, but then after a year of checking out, she left the company. So that was a really, I didn't talk about it with anybody, but it was a punch in the gut, because I knew my feet were planted. I just didn't know how to get over this hurdle. So I knew I had to take one step at a time. I knew it was going to be hard, but I knew I had to figure it out. And that was when I got together with Sidelines, and it was the best thing that I could have done for my company, for my heart, for my soul, everything. And it's the social light group that I had talked to you about before. And it's all triple diamonds. And that group, no one's on the same team. We just work together and help each other. And everybody brings something incredible to the table. And for me, that really was the thing that really shifted, along with, a bunch of other things and other Sidelines ambassadors, that I'm close with, have always opened their arms, opened their hearts to me. So that has been just so helpful and appreciated, with me not having an upline.
And so, y'all, here's the deal. Here's what I heard her say, that she was gonna do well in this business no matter what. She just had to find her way. And so she didn't sit around and think about, oh, poor me, nobody's helping me in the way that I wish they were. Because here's the deal. You could have a very active upline and they still may not do it for you. There may be just something in them that doesn't put you in position to win like you would like to be. Or you might look over at another team and go, I wish my leader did that for me. Can I just tell you this? What you seek is what you'll find. And if you're seeking what you don't have, you're going to find that all day long. But if you're seeking what you do have, you're going to find that all day long. And you're going to create opportunities for yourself rather than looking for roadblocks, because the other only leads you down roadblocks. So what a make a way, find a way personality you have, which is, I'm not surprised. You're a school teacher, and I feel like we go through college and they teach us all these things, and then they just throw us in a classroom and say, no, go do your thing. And I know for me, I don't know if you felt this way, but my first day of teaching, I was like, wait, what? You're just letting me go? Like, where's the accountability? But long story short, here you are. Remind me how many years you said you've been in?
8.
8 years. Like, holy moly. So you joined for one reason. Why are you here now still today?
So I can continue staying home with my babies. I've got a 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Woo!
So not only do I want to stay home with her so that she doesn't have to go to daycare, but it feels so good to tell the teachers, don't hesitate to call me if you need anything. I am not far away and I work from home. So if my baby's sick, like the other day she was sick, and they called me and I said, just put her on the phone real quick. And I said, are you really sick? Do you want to come home? And she said, Mommy, please just come pick me up. And you know what? She wasn't even sick. I don't know what caused her to want to come home, but I think she had anxiety from other friends in her classroom that were getting sick. Like a couple of them threw up. And I think that made her scared, and I didn't care. I was able to just go pick her up, and she came home and we had a great girls' day together. And I can be that yes mom, whether it's, yes to buying something, or whether it's yes to, my schedule is open for you, whatever you need.
So I kind of interrupted you. Were there any other challenges or things you've had to overcome that you wanted to share before we dive into some other things?
Yes. But here, I'm going to try to, see if I can set this up, because, and for anyone that is watching, I did not know this was going to be recorded. So I have no makeup on, but you know what? this is how I run my Facebook page, and this is how I do my lives and my reels and all the things. So you're just kind of getting me how I am real. So I do apologize for that, but
Real and raw, right? Isn't that the most
yeah,
relatable?
yeah, absolutely. So, oh, my struggles. I will say I have had 2 miscarriages in this business. And the first one was right after I had my son. He was 1. And that one rocked me to the core. It was very traumatic. I had to stay in bed for 30 days. So not only was it traumatic and emotionally draining and exhausting and all the hards that are the obvious hards, but it was like, my body was going through a lot of things, and that was really hard. And I couldn't, had I been teaching, there's no way I would have been able to lay in a bed for 30 days. So the fact that I could do that, it made me just so thankful for this business. When I, 2 years ago, probably 2.5 years ago, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and I was able to pick up my family from Arizona, able to move across the country for 6 months, live with him, and drive him to the cancer treatment centers that were 10 hours away, 12 hours away. And I was able to do that because of this business. And I was doing my best to work this business and stay consistent, because I know the importance of being consistent. And I would do videos in the cancer treatment centers for my team. I just did whatever I had to do, but I also had to make sure I was giving myself grace and taking care of myself at the same time. So those were priorities. And if my business took a hit every now and again, it was okay. I had to make sure I was okay, and then I was taking care of my family. While I lived with them, I had another miscarriage. And as much as I was more prepared for it, it reminded me again, I was so thankful that this business allowed for me to take care of my mind and my heart and myself, you know what I mean? And my family. And working this business from my phone has just been such a blessing, and I can't even be more thankful. And my father passed away,
I'm sorry.
5 months, probably 4 months after I left. So he passed away, and I was able to, again, get on the plane. And now, back up just a second. The doctor called me and said, you need to come home. You need to come home this weekend. And I was able to buy a plane ticket and get on that plane and go spend the last weekend of his life with him. And I wouldn't have been able to do that on a teacher's salary. I wouldn't have been able to do that. And that was really, really, I was just so blessed. And I said to my team, I'm putting my phone down for the next 5 days. I'm spending my time with him. And I did. And it was just such a blessing that I could be there with him. And I don't want things to get hard for anybody, but life gets hard. And don't you want to make those choices that you get to decide where you get to go, and you get to decide who you're next to? And for me to be able to just stay with him through that time and not have to rush back like my siblings had to, you know what I mean? I was able to stay there as long as I needed to. And I went back to Arizona. He passed away a couple of days later. I was able to pack up my entire family and come home and be there. I think I stayed home for a month and a half because my mom needed me at that time. She needed me. She needed help. She didn't know how to move on and get past this. So I was able to stay with her. And my husband went back, and I kept the kids, and I was able to stay with her and help her. And because of this business, I was able to do those really, really, really hard times with my phone in my hand and decide to take time off when I needed that time off. And that was a huge hurdle for me to figure out, how do I get back into this business after going through such a difficult time when I'm used to being so positive and sharing my whole life on social media. So that was a hurdle, but I knew, again, I've taken quitting off the table. I knew I was going to get through it. I knew I had to figure it out, and reaching out to other people that have maybe been through that time, that's what helped me. So those are the hard times that I've really been through. And of course you're going to have ups and downs, but those were the really hard times that I've had.
Well, and I imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, when you said yes to It Works, it wasn't because you were like, you know what, my dad's going to get cancer. He's going to battle cancer. And you know what, teaching is not going to afford me the time nor the finances to be able to attend to his needs. And I'm sure when you signed, you didn't say, you know, I bet I'm going to have a couple miscarriages and my body, mind, and spirit is going to need some time. Plus I'm going to need to pay bill. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't join for that reason, but because you joined, you had that flexibility and freedom. And I'm sure you had some residual. Again, you said, what's the highest level you've been at?
Yeah, triple.
And I think you told me that you've also fallen down in rank,
Yeah.
but you still had income
And it's
coming
all
in.
that I was as a teacher. So it never bothered me that it did go down. You know what I mean? I was able to be where I had to be at that time. But I remember thinking through all of those difficult times, I remember thinking, man, I really thought that I got into this business and I was like, oh man, it was really to stay home with my babies. And then after I went through that time with my dad, it was such a moment of realizing all those other times that I thought this business was brought into my life. And it's not. It was so I could be with him. And I'm just like him. He was my best friend. We talked every single day. He started his own business with a private investigative firm. So I would always talk to him about like the differences and getting tips from him. And I truly believe that that is the reason that I was in this business. And now I feel like I'm going to have my eye open again at some point later in the future. Like I was brought into this business to help that person do that and that. And it's so much bigger than what you realize when you first get started.
Oh, I just have chills right now for somebody that's fairly new watching this, all the way to somebody who is maybe not where they want to be because a lot of life has hit. And it's, sometimes you guys, our go-to is we blame the business. We blame the business for things that are outside of our control. And yet a lot of times the business is there for us if we've been consistent when we're in good seasons, right? So you joined for one reason. Why are you still here? You want to be home with your kids. I know you're still not where you want to be yet, but tell me some of the dreams that you have right now, Danielle.
Oh, geez, that's a big one. I've told myself a lot of times, don't settle. But I also feel like I've also reached, I don't want to say my fullest potential because I know I'm not there, but I know that what I really want to do is be a stay-at-home mom and continue being able to do that. But as you grow in this business and you have more people join your team and they share their whys with you, that's when I feel like it really hits me. I want to do all the things and help them do all their things. And I want to continue to show them that it is possible. I don't care what it is, whether it's, they want to have another baby, but they can't afford it, or they want to take that trip to Hawaii, or they, lately I feel like, I keep hearing like, I work 3 jobs and I'm sick of it. So they join me and now they're working on not having those 3 jobs. And it's like, I've been there. Like I used to rent my house out as a teacher during the summer months to go work to make money. So I was trying to make money off my house because I wasn't getting paid during the summer months. And I'd go somewhere else and work to make money there. I know what it's like. I ran a tutoring business while I was teaching. I know what it's like. So I want to be here to show all those people on my team and whoever else, you know what I mean? That, you can do this, but it's just so important to stay consistent and not to do all the things, but to do your daily task list and to stay plugged in. Staying close to the fire is literally the most important thing because you're always going to be learning new things.
Spoken from the woman who doesn't truly have an upline in this business, right? And so she's staying close to the fire for the morsels that she's gaining, that fall by the wayside from the successful people. Success leaves clues. And when you get around successful people, you're going to learn. Danielle, talk to me a little bit. How have things shifted for you since Foreign a Friend was introduced in September?
The number one thing is I feel like I was getting so hung up on not having my triple diamond rank back. And it's like, I worked so hard for that. I want that back. And I know I'm going to get it back, but I was struggling with that so much. And when Foreign a Friend came out, I did overcomplicate it very much so. As you know, for me being on stage, I earned Christmas cash bonus in 10 days because for 3 months I overcomplicated it. So once I figured
whoa. Let's just pause there because 2 weeks ago, we also, no, that was last week. Mariah, she didn't sponsor anybody from September through December because she was completely overthinking it. But then she just kind of let that go. She had been a mass recruiter and her business wasn't growing. When she let go of that and truly embraced Foreign a Friend, it exploded. Look at you, 10 days of a Christmas cash bonus. Like, are you kidding me?
But the thing is with Foreign a Friend, you can make so much more money. You don't have to be a triple diamond leader to make $10,000 a month. You can do Foreign a Friend and that's going to make you have that money. So that once that really was like the light bulb for me, I was like, I just need to focus on Foreign a Friend. And my team to do Phone a Friend. But my thing is, I had to fix some things. So I had to fix how I was training my new distributors. I had to fix that. And I talked to, the socialite crew that I was a part of, I learned this and learned that. And, the messenger parties, that was a big thing that they shared with me. And so I had to revamp my new distributor training. And then I have a potential distributor page that I really felt like I needed. So I really wanted to work on that too. So I needed a couple of things to be fixed before I could really be ready to run. So once I fixed all of that, I feel like January came and I was like, okay, I'm ready for the flood, but where is it? And what do I do? And I'm doing all the things, but the flood's not happening. And I had a conversation with Sam Bowers, and we were talking about the potential distributor pages privately and all that. And I said, I'm ready for it, but I just don't know what to do. And she said, do TikToks. And I said, I can't. Nobody wants to see a 40-year-old woman dancing and pointing in front of the camera. I just can't do it. And I said, Facebook's my baby. I built my business solely on Facebook. And I don't have time. I'm so busy. I don't have time. And I'm telling you, I gave her every excuse in the book. And she wrote back to me, you have to step out of your comfort zone. If you want to grow, nothing comes from something, she said, but you've got to step out of your comfort zone and grow. And I said, all right, I'm making a decision today because you know what you're doing and you're telling me what I need to do. So she really did change so much for me. And I screenshot our conversation. I sent it to my team and I said, you're holding me accountable. I'm jumping 2 feet in right now. I'm going all in. I'm doing at least 3 reels a day. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think it's crazy. People are like, what are these things that go viral? These sounds, you want me to do what? I don't know what I'm going to do. I just know I'm going to do it. So I followed a couple of people. I followed her. I followed Caitlin Snyder and Tavia Monet. So I just followed them because I really felt like I don't have the time to do this, first of all. So I don't have time to look into it to figure it out. I just know I have to do it. So I jumped 2 feet in, and in 1 month I grew 40,000 followers on Facebook. And the thing that I thought was funny is that I didn't want to do them because Facebook was my baby. But what I did was what they were saying to do is do TikTok, get rid of the logo by using an app or website, and then put it on Facebook. So I told myself, you cannot overcomplicate this because you overcomplicate everything. No overthinking. You're going to post it. You're not allowed to look at comments or likes or anything. And I just kept doing them. And then a couple videos took off. One definitely went viral. One is at 15 million. And I think it's hilarious because I look terrible in the video. And I'm like, out of all videos, that's the one that, I'm comparing my husband to, my high school crush is what it was. It was something other people were doing. So I just copied what other people were doing and it really took off. So a couple of them went viral, but you can't pick and choose which ones take off. You just have to keep doing them. Right. And either way, it's going to bring traction to your page, whether they go viral or whether they don't. So.
Totally. Well, okay. So I love it. You're getting outside your comfort zone. You're now doing TikToks. Can we just real quickly, what were you doing on Facebook prior that you were like, whoa, obviously things weren't working and things weren't moving quite like you wanted them to. So you had to try something new, but tell me what you were doing, because I think it's important for you guys to know, what we're doing today is not what's still going to be working tomorrow. The system, the Phone a Friend and selling these packs is going to be the system, but how we get that word out there is going to change. Many of you right now are brand new. So you're working through your warm contacts. You're working through family, friends, church friends, teachers, community members, friends from high school, college, you're working through that group right now. Once you've worked through that group, you're going to have to pivot, because how do you expand after that? So what were you doing prior to you getting out of your comfort zone and trying the TikTok lane?
Definitely. I was doing host posts. I was doing my stories. I was very active in my stories. And of course I was posting. And that was fine, but I had done that for a long time.
And you're probably still doing that, but because you've added the TikTok and the reels and stuff, it's all of a sudden brought fire back to it, right?
Honestly, I'm not doing host to post nearly as much as I am. I'm putting up stuff in my stories. And if people message me the word April, you know what I mean, or whatever, then they'll do the host to post. But I am not having to intentionally seek people to host to post because I literally am so busy. I cannot even keep up with the flood of people that are coming my way. It's ridiculous.
That's amazing. All right. Well, our time is coming to a close. And so I feel like there's 1,000 more things you could say. You guys, I said this might be the first time you're meeting Danielle, but it's definitely not going to be the last time. This woman was born for the stage. Plus, I love how she's just unapologetically unafraid of what needs to be done to get after it in this business. And here's the deal. You might say, well, I don't know, Sam did it. Here's the deal, Danielle. You're the one that actually did it. You could have taken her advice and been like, I'm sorry, that's not me. Or you could have taken her advice like you did and said, I'm going to try it, because why not? And again, it goes back to that make a way, find a way. And I said to you when we were texting earlier, could I title this Claim Your Comeback? But more than anything, I really think that it's don't settle, and like you're going to continue to learn as you earn, or maybe it's be a make a way, find a way kind of person, or there's so many titles I think we could have for this. What would you title your story if you got to put the title on your own story?
Oh my goodness, you're asking some difficult questions. Claiming my comeback is good. I do like that, but it's also, I'm just getting the ball rolling. You know what I mean? I am winning, but I'm winning. I'm earning the bonuses. I'm doing all the things, but I need to see my team winning just as big as me. So that ball is rolling, and my new distributors are doing amazing and taking off, and they're doing great. But I want to see people winning big. So the ball is just rolling for me. And once people start winning and people are getting these bonuses more and more on my team, then I know that that triple diamond rank is going to just fall into place. It's not even something, I don't even have to think about it, because I'm going to be so busy helping all the other people getting their bonuses and them winning. So that's my big goal.
I think your title could be learn by example, set the pace, the pace of the leader, the pace of the pack. There's so many things that could really define what you just said. If you could leave our listeners with one final thought, or two, because I'm not going to limit you, what would that be?
You have got to step outside your comfort zone if you want to grow. You can have all the excuses in the book, but you're hearing everybody say, do the TikToks and do the reels. And I missed the TikTok train for really good reasons. That was when my dad was sick and I couldn't even think about it. But I knew that I wasn't going to miss this once Sam told me that. I said, I know I have to do it. I've got to figure it out. And one other thing that really hits home for me is, if you knew what I knew with how this business has helped me, if you could see inside my brain about how difficult my life has been, and I'm so thankful for what this business is. I pray that no one's life gets so hard that they have to hold somebody's hand in a hospital bed. But that is also, unfortunately, part of life. So don't you want to be the one to make the decision and not have to ask somebody permission to have time off or whatever it may be? So jump 2 feet in, stop making excuses, and do it now. And I'm telling you, you're going to message me or message somebody in a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, and you're going to say, I'm so glad that I saw that Zoom, because I made that decision today and I jumped in 2 feet, and it's changed everything because of it.
I love that. Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot for one more thing. Am I allowed? Okay. So for a friend, if you could give them one tip about for a friend, maybe it's practical, maybe it's mindset. Because I know you said this is changing the game for you. Yeah. It's not about chasing the triple diamond, because it's going to come as you build your cycles. But what's one tip?
I feel like if you're consistent with doing the things like posting and stories and messaging, and, I feel like if you're staying consistent with that, the customers are going to come. But I feel like if you're not intentional with sharing this opportunity, that's not going to come. And you have got to sign distributors in order for that system to work. And then you've got to teach them to do the same thing so that it's duplicatable. So be more intentional with sharing the business. Your host to post, share the business. Your messages, your reach outs, have it be about the business. Your posts, how personal are they? about you. Stop copying and pasting what other people are posting about the business, because that's not truly you. People read it and they know that's not you. Tweak it around, make it work for you. That's fine. But are you being super intentional about posting about the business? There's other people out there that need this, and you've got to be out there reaching out to them. So be so intentional about finding people that need this business and staying consistent with all the other things. The customers will come if you're doing all those things, but you've got to be intentional with the business and presenting the business to every single person. If you talk about the products or you talk about the host to post, my God, you have them in a conversation. Present the business. And for me, I just say, can I send you more information? 9 out of 10 people, 9.5 maybe, will say yes. And I send them right to my PDT page. So now they're in a spot where they can learn all that they want right there at their fingertips. So sorry, that was a little long.
No, and I love how you brought in the practical of, can I send you more information? Because I was going to ask you that. I was going to say, like, how? What does that look like, practically speaking, for those that are black and white and just need a nudge of how to say that in the right direction? And for me, you guys, even though you might not be doing the party pad presentation or the PowerPoint presentation with every person you're communicating with, the one thing I would encourage you to do is, with every conversation, I would simply say, can I tell you more about what it is that I do? You know, and because they can always say no, but what if they say yes? I'd like to share more about what it is I do.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. I think this is spam. Hello, this is Cammie. This might be an emergency phone call that I need to take. Isn't this just us doing life while we're doing business? Hello? Hello? Of course, I answered that and it was a complete,
You're fine.
So no, I just love that, because again, I think every person, how do you know? How can you pre-qualify them? And I will never forget when I was doing a presentation once in a room and a woman walked across my stage as a double diamond. And this was her story, Danielle. I kid you not. She goes, I was introduced to this business 5 years ago and they signed me as a customer. She goes, they didn't even tell me there was a business attached to this. Now, many of you might think, well, don't they know? No, they don't know. Life is moving too quickly. She said, and I quote, I needed this business 5 years ago. I wanted the product, but she goes, I needed the business. She goes, here I stand today because 5 years ago I needed it. Since then I lost my business. I could have saved my business. I needed the business 5 years ago. And she said emphatically, don't pre-qualify anybody. I don't care what they look like on the outside or how much together they look like they have it. They could be losing everything on the backside. So don't pre-qualify anybody and share the business with everybody. Worst case scenario, the answer is no, not right now.
And
But
most people, 9 out of 10 people will say, yes, sure.
Tell me more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to give one more tip. And again, like, my life, I feel like, is crazy. So I haven't been able to do this as much as I want to lately. But when I was doing it, it was incredible. I would get people on the phone. The second they said they wanted more information, I would get them into my potential distributor page. I would tag them in a video I made, my welcome video. And then as soon as they messaged me back and say, okay, I watched it, I said, okay, great. Do you have 5 to 10 minutes to hop on a call? That right now, I'm telling you, I've got a baby on my hip most of the time. So I am not doing it as much as I want to, but that right there was everything. And for those people that think I'm not confident enough, okay, you got to step outside your comfort zone. The more people you talk to on the phone, the more it's just going to be so easy for you to talk to people. And that's going to grow your business. And I swear by that. Getting them on the phone as soon as they've watched that welcome video for me has been amazing as well.
Well, you do know after this airs, everybody's going to want to see your welcome video, right? Like, they're all going to want to see your welcome video. Danielle, thank you so much for sharing that. And I just couldn't agree more. And what I find is, even when I offer the business and they're still hemming and hawing and they're saying maybe not right now, I'll say, listen, let's go ahead and get you on some products. Let you build a testimony right now today, so that when you're ready to start the business,
yeah, definitely,
you'll have everything you need to know to get started. So thank you for joining me today. I feel terrible that I put you on the spot. I didn't realize I was vague about the reason we were meeting, but you knocked it out of the ballpark, my friend. And I know you're going to get a lot of friend requests if they can figure out how to spell that last name of yours. Yeah, do that.
JANISEWSKI. And my YouTube channel, It has most of my videos there if they want to check it out there too.
Okay. All right. Danielle, thank you very much. You have an awesome day. And thank you everybody for joining us. Join us next week on the Road to VIP and VIP page for our next Tips from the Top. Have a good day, everybody.